What happened to all my money? If you often ask this question, it's time to tweak your budget. Whether you do not have a budget or are a budgeting beginner, rest assured it's simple to start. This video shows you how to use budgeting to get more out of your spending. A survey found that 65% of Americans had no idea how much they spent the previous month. This phenomenon is not just American but universal. Most people have lofty financial dreams, yet they hardly pay attention to their expenses. However, it is impossible to hit your financial goals if you do not track and control your spending. To do this, you need a budget. To calm your nerves, let us assure you that budgeting does not have to be a chore. In this video, you will later discover tips to make budgeting easier, enjoyable, and more effective. A budget can help you feel more in control of your finances and make saving money for your goals easier. This video outlines how to do just that. Your net income is the foundation of an adequate budget. It comprises your take-home salary, which equals your gross salary minus tax deductions and employer-provided benefits like retirement plans and health insurance. Furthermore, net income includes any other regular payments you receive, such as freelance income, investment dividends, interest, and child support. Focusing on your total salary rather than your net income may lead to overspending due to the illusion that you have more money to spend than you do.
You are wrong.
Once you've determined your income, tracking and categorizing your expenses can help you figure out what you're spending the most money on and where you might be able to save the most. Begin by making a list of your fixed expenses. These are monthly bills, such as rent or mortgage payments, utilities, and car payments. Next, list your variable expenses, which can vary monthly, such as groceries, gas, entertainment, and leisure. Also, don't forget to budget for irregular expenses, such as car maintenance, home repairs, and holiday spending. To track your expenses, examine your credit card records, bank statements, and other receipts, which regularly itemize your monthly payments. To make budgeting rewarding, more effortless, and fun, you may 1. Involve the entire family by explaining the importance of budgeting and soliciting suggestions for cost-cutting and other beneficial measures. 2. Draw your budget when it's easier to maintain discipline. Begin in January rather than just before or after the holiday shopping season. 3. Use tools that work best for you. You could record your daily expenses with a pen and paper, an app, or budgeting spreadsheets. Don't go writing on your bedsheet, please. I said spreadsheet. 4. Reward yourself for sticking to your budget by indulging in a cheap splurge. Note that budgeting does not have to be difficult, nor should it take up hours of your time. Like the 50-30-20 rule, the best budget plans are usually the most basic. The 50-30-20 rule is a simple and effective monthly budgeting method that tells you how much to put towards savings and living expenses each month. The rule is based on the book All Your Worth, The Ultimate Lifetime Money Plan, written in 2005 by U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren and her daughter, Amelia Warren Tydoggie. We'll later highlight the specific ways it asks you to spend your money. After documenting your expenditure, set realistic short and long-term financial goals before you begin sifting through the collected data. Ordinarily, short-term goals span 1 to 3 years. They may include setting up an emergency fund, furthering your education, or purchasing a car or home. On the other hand, long-term objectives, such as saving for retirement or your child's education, can take decades to achieve. Remember that you don't have to set rigid goals. Simply having them could motivate you to stick to your budget. For example, you may find it easier to cut some expenses to save for a vacation. Next comes the part where you juxtapose what you spend in your budget. Use the variable and fixed expenses you accumulated to estimate how much you'll spend in the coming months. After that, compare it to your net income and priorities. Consider establishing specific and reasonable spending limits for each category of expenses. You may want to further divide your expenses into things you must have and things you want to have. For example, buying gasoline is necessary if you drive to work daily, while a monthly music subscription may be considered a want. This distinction is significant when looking for ways to redirect money toward your financial goals. Subscribe to this channel for content that will boost your financial knowledge and advance your financial goals. Having documented your income, spending, and plans, you can now make the adjustments needed to spend within your budget. First, consider cutting down on your wants. Can you forego movie nights in favor of watching a movie at home?
I know. It's hard to be a man.
If you already reduced your spending on wants, examine your spending on monthly payments. Close inspection may reveal that an item you consider a need is not a non-negotiable but simply hard to part with. If you can accurately distinguish your needs from your wants, you could apply the 50-30-20 rule. The basic rule of thumb is to divide your monthly after-tax income into 3 spending categories: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings or debt repayment. Consider adjusting your fixed expenses if the figures still don't add up. Could you, for example, save more money by comparing the insurance rates of auto dealers and homeowners? Such decisions involve significant trade-offs, so carefully consider your options. Remember that even small savings can add up to a substantial amount. You won't be surprised at how much money you can save by making small changes one at a time. Regularly reviewing your budget is critical since income, spending habits, and goals may change over time. For example, you might get a raise, have to pay more in rent, or want to set a new goal after attaining one. Whatever the reason, get into the habit of checking in with your budget regularly by repeating the outlined measures. To keep track of your budget, consider if that expense or goal is still necessary. Also, investigate whether a change you have to make results from another change. Could you address that change instead? The overall goal is to be aware of your available money, rather than worrying about everything you spend. As an experiment, try tracking all of your spendings for a week or even a month. We recommend you watch the video titled Top 5 Best Free Financial Apps so you find out simple tracking and budgeting solutions. Thanks for watching.